Good morning. It is Monday, March the 2nd, 2026. Hope everyone had a nice weekend. It was a beautiful weekend here in Charleston. I spent a lot of time outside just with my family and took my one son for a bike ride. Actually, both of them. I got the little Burley. You put my little guy in the back, and my older boy can bike along with me. But but back on the soccer field. All right, so my older son just started soccer for the first time. He's coming up on 5 years, 5 years old here. So yours truly back in the coaching helm. All right, coaching some 5 and 6 year old boys. Tyson is fun. Tyson in our office, who also has a son that just turned 5. He's the assistant coach. All right, so I'm sure we'll have some nice soccer updates for you. My daughter, of course, she has grown beyond. She needed better coaches than me in order for her to continue to improve her soccer endeavors. She needed a coach that actually knew something about soccer. Right, the 5 and 6 year old boys, and I can get by with some hockey concepts, and let's have fun, work hard. We're excited. All right, thought we might have a relatively quiet market update when I was putting this together late on Friday. Right, I was going to just touch on the Nasdaq, tech heavy Nasdaq being underperforming again last week with Nvidia. They posted their earnings, which were good. They're good, but as we've discussed in the past, when you post numbers that are good or even great, and the multiple you trade at is a really high multiple from a valuation standpoint, like it needs to be incredible, right? For some of these high multiple businesses to continue moving forward for their stocks. So you saw Nvidia down roughly 10% from its high last week, which wasn't shocking, but obviously over the weekend, which I am at this point, I would guess most people have heard about this. The U.S. and other allies carrying out a major strikes and operations in Iran, like we always do in these, or I try to do in these Monday videos. We're going to leave the political narratives out. Plenty of other networks you can tune in to receive that. So looking at the events just purely from an economic and kind of market standpoint, looking at the futures this morning, what's happening, pretty intuitive, almost exactly the way you would think that this would play out on a morning like this. So you have the U.S. dollar considerably stronger. All right, so the U.S. dollar gaining a lot of strength this morning. You see oil is up nearly 10%. All right, just given much of the global supply for oil comes from the Middle East region. You see oil up 10%, which oil being 10% higher is great for a number of energy companies and developers. Right, so you see the stocks of some of those companies going up this morning. But for the most part, oil 10% higher is not great for the U.S. consumer. Right, so you will see gas prices go higher this week around the states here. And just given the U.S. consumer makes up 70%, 70% of the economy of GDP. Not surprising at all, you see U.S. futures, like stock futures, down about 1% at the moment. So not a huge response on the equity side. Oil up, dollar stronger, treasuries are a little trickier. Yields are up a touch, and which also in my mind makes sense, and that's just because with oil going higher, concern that could bring about more inflation, right? Where the Fed would have to down the road hike to combat that, which is probably why you see rates up just a touch this morning. But last I looked at the U.S. 10-year Treasury is still below 4%, which bonds are having their best. I think for February had the best month in over a year. So we'll see the way it shakes out. Things like this always from an economic standpoint and just an educational standpoint, always interesting to just kind of study the way these events play out. But as of now, kind of as you would expect. So Questions, comments, concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to our team. Looking forward to another great week of reviews. All right, so kicking off week 3 here this morning. So look forward to seeing more of you this week. Have a great week. Thanks.